I'm like, swing. One of the biggest rules of school, the way to get in less trouble is to not hit first. What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Jay, and if you're a new subscriber, welcome, and if you're a returning subscriber, what's up? Be sure to like, comment on this video, give me, some feedback, like what y'all think. If y'all like these kind of videos, let me know. Put that in the comments below. Turn on my post notifications so you're notified whenever I post a new video. As you guys can tell by the title, today we will be doing a story time. Little disclaimer, this is maybe 5 years ago, I think. Yeah, I was a sophomore in high school. Time flies. This is my take and my POV. Don't mind my wrinkled shirt, y'all. Anyways, I don't have no smoke, no beef with none of the people that's involved in the story. So let's get into this video. And yeah, this was, like I said, my sophomore year in high school. I had just had a fallout with one of my best friends at the time. We were like a trio. It was me and two other girls, Katie and the other girl, Sarah. Me, Katie, and Sarah were like this. I really feel like we were the shortest of the entire school. They used to call us the Three Musketeers, the triplets, because we were all short. Because we were so short, I feel like we were always on defense when we didn't need to be. That's just how it was. That's kind of how we were known around the school. We were always in drama and always in this and always in that. That was only because people felt like they could test us because we were short, and people was playing and they didn't know that we was on timing. They didn't expect us to be on timing because we always had beef with the bigger kids. The grades above us is the ones that wanted all the smoke, because everyone in our grade, they didn't mess with us. They didn't necessarily say that to us. So I heard about it years later that certain people didn't like me that I thought liked me, and blah 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 blah. That's not important because a lot of those people I'm cool with now. So that's nor here nor there. Me, Katie, and Sarah, we were like this. Going into our sophomore year, me and Katie remained close and cool. Sarah kind of got close with another person, and a whole new group of people pretty much. Shiki, I went to summer school and things had just changed. So I really don't even really remember verbatim what was the whole rundown. I do have screenshots, I do have videos, I do have messages. I should have had that on hand, but I'm really going based off when I remember. It was kind of just we were at odds because we felt Sarah was moving funny. Sarah wasn't cool with us no more. Sarah wasn't really talking to us no more. So we're okay, Sarah, you're moving mad weird. It started to kind of be the talk of the school, low-key. Y'all see that Katie, Sarah, and Jay aren't cool no more, blah 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 blah. So then it kind of became a topic of conversation because everyone was thrown off because, like I said, we were this close. So it was just super weird for us not to talk at all. The beef really started to get crazy when things were brought onto social media. So people were throwing subs, and people were saying, oh, I'm not scared of nobody, and people are PUSSY, and people are scary, and that kind of back and forth on social media. And I'm showing my mom, I'm Mom, look at this, things is getting crazy, we're really beefing. And then so many upperclassmen got involved. I literally was beefing with juniors and seniors, because I even had smoke with her guy best friend at the time. We're gonna call him Jacob. So Sarah and Jacob got super close. Me and Jacob was never cool, but me and Jacob more so had a beef because that was the guy, he's gonna stand up for his female friend, just like I would have for Sarah when we were cool. I did, not would have, I did. Now me and Jacob got smoke. Me and Jacob got beef, and now I'm with it. I'm there was a lot of rah-rah going on. One day at lunch, we had mutual friends, so of course when we went to outside lunch, we're still gonna sit with our friends. We not gonna be moving scary and not sit with our friends because we got beef with 2 people at the table or 3 people at the table. And there was a lot of people playing both sides, which we're gonna get into that. That's low-key a whole nother story time. That's a whole nother story time. And so we're at the table. I'm just hearing stuff come from Jacob and Sarah, oh yeah, because people at this table know they won't say nothing to my face, blah 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 blah. I'm people really moving scary, they can't just, I'm pretty much saying what they're saying, I'm scary, but you're the one not being direct. So now me and Jacob get into it. I see Jacob kind of posting up, getting ready. So I'm just like, what's up? Like, what you trying to do? So now me and Jacob are both standing up and we're going at it. We're like, blah, 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 blah. Mad people was getting in the middle of us. Yeah, Katie is like in the middle. Like, she's like, no, we're not going to do this. Like, we said we weren't going to be in drama this year. Like, we're trying to change. Like, our sophomore year was to stay out of the drama because our freshman year was full of drama. Like, people really took that and ran with it. Oh my God, I forgot a part. So before this whole situation really started to get crazy with me and Jacob, me and Sarah had the same advisor. So Sarah would be like, oh, look, it's Lil Bill. Like, they were really out there calling me Lil Bill because I was short, you know. Sarah started coming into my classroom, walk by her, and she'd be like, oh, look, it's Lil Bill. I'm like, whatever. Like, you doing some corny stuff. When people tried to beat on you, I had your back, and somebody was about to beat her up. So that's where I feel like it really started, where I really started to get annoyed. So I would go to the guidance counselor and talk to the guidance counselor. I did not want the guidance counselor to say nothing. Gossip was happening not only between the students, but gossip was also happening with the teachers. When I would tell the guidance counselor stuff, the guidance counselor took it upon themselves to go to Sarah and say stuff. So now Sarah's like, oh, you a rat and you a op and blah, blah, blah. Like, I don't even think we was using the word op at the time, but that's pretty much what she was saying. Back to like the lunch situation. So me and Jacob are like, we're going at it. So like, it was mad people outside like trying to like separate us. Fast forward, the guidance counselor like wants to talk to me and be like, you know, figure out what's going on. She was running her mouth so much and making so much mess out the situation and literally making it worse. Whatever conversation that I had, me and Katie had with guidance counselor A, she went and spoke to Jacob and Sarah and pretty much was like that we said that they were bullying us. Now Jacob and Sarah are like, oh, y'all some ops because y'all saying we bullying y'all. Like, nobody bullying y'all. Y'all mad scary. And that, we never said that. That never came out of our mouths. We never said that. Maybe like a week or two later. This is another lunch period, and me and Katie were online to get our lunch. Sarah and Jacob, I guess, had just come from a conversation with the guidance counselor, and so they come in the lunchroom and we see them. And it was like, oh yeah, because they ratted to the guidance counselor talking about somebody bullying them. At this point, like, I'm sick of being like the big person and ignoring. I'm not going to keep doing this with y'all. I'm not going to keep poking the bear and thinking that the bear's not going to roar. So I'm like, yeah, I did say something to the guidance counselor. And what about it? Y'all not going to do nothing. So now we're going at it. Like, so much was being said. So now we're in the hallways like, so what's up? Like, what y'all trying to do? We posting up. I dropped my stuff because I was so tired at this point. I'm so over it. I'm like, you know what? Like, let's get it on. If y'all want to fight. Or if y'all don't want to fight, then shut up. Like, y'all doing a lot of talking. People are starting to crowd around us. Like, the crowd is trying to get us to fight. I'm like, swing. One of the biggest rules of school, the way to get in less trouble is to not hit first. That's what I was going for. I'm like, swing. Like, you over here, you keep talking, you keep walking by me saying stuff, you calling me Lil Bill. Like, what y'all trying to do? The teachers are trying to break it up. Like, I'm just trying to get away from the teachers because now at this point I want to fight. Like, you was talking all that hot stuff, but you wait until the teachers get involved and mad people's in front of me for you to start like talking hot. Whatever was said, everybody's like, oh. So I'm like, all right, now I want to fight because whatever you just said got the people's going, and what's up with it? Fast forward, Sarah is sending in upperclassmen to come press me. One of her close friends or whatever at the time came in the class like saying whatever. I don't even remember what it said, but I'll also insert that clip.
I promise I'll beat your little ass.
Oh, go. What?
They was pretty much trying to press me. So now everybody's like, oh, you just got pressed, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I don't really care about none of that press stuff because y'all doing a lot of this and not enough of this. I had people following me up and down the stairs while I'm in class and stuff. I had people coming in my classrooms trying to attack me. So now we get to like the second to last day of school, y'all. Everybody, all the classes were in the gym. It's kind of like our field day, I guess you could call it, but like we were in the gym. I went to go get like a paddle. I'm just, you know, minding my business. I'm walking down. Like, the gym is huge. Like, the walk from where all the equipment was to all the way like where I was at, like I was on the opposite side of the gym. I'm walking and I see Jacob like staring into my soul. I'm just like, okay, like I see him at the corner of my eye staring at me, but I'm like, okay, what is this about? Like, is he staring at me, or maybe he's just looking past me? Maybe, you know, like trying to like not get into a situation that I really don't need to get into. I'm chilling, I'm just walking, so I look, I see him staring, I'm like, okay, like, let's just put this out there. Everybody from New York, no, you do not stare at people. That's like fighting points. Like, at that point, you want to smoke. I look at him a second time, And y'all, he's really staring at me. And at this point, the second time that I look, like, I'm like closer to my friends. I'm like, okay, yeah, you're definitely staring at me. Like, you definitely, like, you got a problem. I'm like, what's up? Like, what you trying to do? Like, you staring at me, what's the problem? I walk up on him, like, he's sitting down, and I'm like, okay, like, stand up. Like, so I back up a little. I'm like, stand up, since you want to talk all that stuff, like, let's fight. So then we're like here to each other. Like, we're like right here. Like, he's like taller than me, so he's like right here, and I'm like right here. I'm mad short, so I'm low-key like looking up at him. But you know, I'm still talking my stuff. Like, I'm like, do something. Finally, y'all, finally, he swings. So he go, boom. So he catch me. I'm not gonna lie, like, he caught me. But you know, now we're going nuts. So we're like, so we're just fighting. He knocked me down. That ain't stop nothing, cause what I do, I sprung up like I just came from the dead. Like, I sprung up on him and I jumped and I said, bing, and then caught him. So now we are broken up. And I'm still shouting, saying what I'm saying. He's still shouting, saying what he's saying. At the time I had braces, so I'm like, first my chain had popped, and I was so sad because I'm like, this is like my favorite chain, blah blah blah. It wasn't this chain necessarily; it was a different chain that I had. It popped, and they took me upstairs. They kept him downstairs. As I checked my like shirt, I had blood on my shirt. It wasn't my blood, so let's just put that out there. At the time I had braces, so I'm just like, okay, like, I'm probably bleeding because my gums got cut up from the braces. Like, he didn't really do nothing because I didn't have no scratches, no marks, nothing. So I'm like, okay, like, clearly that's his and not mine. So, and later on I had found out, like, it was him that was bleeding. I don't know where he was bleeding from. I just was told that he was bleeding, and I knew he had to be bleeding because I'm like, it's definitely not my blood. Like, I'm touching my face, I'm looking at my teeth is fine. Like, nothing on me is bleeding. Like, it wasn't like OD blood. Like, I'm not gonna drag and say it was OD blood, but like, he had like a nice amount of blood on my shirt. And so they got security in the stairwell. I come back downstairs, he's coming up the stairs, and I'm still with it. I'm like, round two, like, what you trying to do? Like, we seen each other, so I'm like, what's up? Like, we on the steps, and I was trying to bolt down the steps to catch him. I'm like, trying to get down the steps. And one of the teachers like grabbed me up, like, nah, you can't fight, like, don't do this, you're already for it, like, leave it alone, security's holding him back, I'm being held back. I'm like, yeah, because, you know, I'm with it, like, we could go again. I guess they must have forgot freshman year Jay. Like, I'm with it. Like, they did have me in the principal's office, and they had called my mom and stuff, and we had to set up a whole meeting with her and my dad, and like, they were trying to suspend me, but my mom's like, how y'all gonna suspend him? He already took all his tests, he passed all his classes, like, how y'all gonna suspend him? And they didn't want to suspend me that year because it was the second to last year of school, so how y'all can't suspend me? Like, they were trying to suspend me into the next year. My mom's like, she's not going for that. Like, we had a talk, we squashed the beef. It really became a distinct beef between me and Jacob. So at that point, you know, they sat us down, we talked it out, and we said, like, the beef was squashed, the beef was over, and like, that was the end of that. Like, it was crazy because the beef really was like throughout the whole school year. Like, it really dragged on throughout the whole school year. And so that concludes this story time. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time. Let me know if you guys want to hear more crazy story times. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on my post notifications so you're notified whenever I post a new video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.